Hi everybody, Mom right now. So, if you any of you are wondering why I haven't been very active on my channel lately, it's because I'm gonna tell you right now. So, I do apologize for being absent on my channel. Um, I have been really poorly and I ended up being in hospital. So I've not really been feeling myself, not really been feeling filming or even editing, to be fair. I mean, I took my camera into hospital and I were going to do some editing, but I don't know, I just had like drips and stuff and it was hard to text, it was hard to do anything with my hands. So I just weren't feeling it. So I do apologise. I do have a video to edit and it will go up eventually, but I've just not got around to it. So I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. Just got home from work. Yeah, I'm still gonna work. um, so I'll fill you in if you want to know what happened to me. I know a lot of people have been commenting and stuff on Twitter, and I just want to keep you guys in the know. So basically, oh, look at my fat bit of arm, it's right annoying me. Basically, on Tuesday, so a week ago today, I will try and get this video up today because I'm not really going to edit it, I'm just going to throw it on. But on Tuesday last week, I had a chronic stomachache before work and it was really bad. It was a really bad stomachache and it went into my back. I posted it on Facebook wondering if anybody else had the same sort of thing. I thought it was acid because I do suffer a lot with acid reflux and heartburn and all that wonderful goodness. And people did say it sounds a little bit like gallstones, and I thought, I've never even thought of that. I never even really heard of it, so I didn't go really into it. So what I did, I took some peppermint like heartburn relief sort of Gaviscon stuff, 2 painkillers, 2 paracetamol, and I went to work with it. It was really painful and it took my breath, but it went within an hour and a half. So I didn't think much to it. I just thought it's probably my acid. I need to go to the doctors and maybe get some more sort of like lansoprazole tablets to help. Anyway, Wednesday we're fine all day, not a problem. Night time came, I went to bed and I woke up about 10 to 3 in the morning, in absolute agony again with the same sort of pain, and it did radiate straight into my back from my tummy straight through, and it was like I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay, I couldn't get into a position where it didn't hurt, and it was so painful. So I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and my boyfriend was like, you need to ring 111, you need help, this isn't right. And I hate hospitals, I've never been in a hospital for myself, and I was just, no, I'm not going. And he went back to sleep because you know what men are like. And bearing in mind, I'm meant to be getting up at 5 o'clock for work, started work at 6. So I was just in agony. I was crying my eyes out. The pain was so intense. I've never felt anything like it. I thought I was going to die. So for about half an hour of the pain, I couldn't cope anymore. I needed to go to the doctors. I thought it was like trapped wind. It feels like when you've been winded, you know, if you've been pushed down as a kid, and you fall pretty hard, that's what it felt like. So I rang 111, I went in the front room, I rang them up, I thought this isn't right, I can't cope. Anyway, they wanted to see me within the hour. They said it was quite urgent that I got to a emergency doctors and out of hours doctors. They got me an appointment there at 5 o'clock. Now I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to go to work. So I went and woke him up and I was like, you need to take me to out of hours, I need to go. At this point I was bent over, crippled. It was so painful. I was just crying, like constantly crying. So he took me up in the car. Oh, it was so painful. And the guy said I needed a wee sample and I was like, I've just been. So I had to like squeeze a little bit out. I went into the doctor's. She checked my pee for like pregnancy, which I'm not pregnant. Infection, kid, like, do you know, like if you have a water infection type thing, there were no signs of infection. she had a feel in my tummy, and she says, what do you think it is? And I says, I don't know, I think it's acid. She says, I don't think it is acid. She felt around my back as well, because that's where the pain was going through. And for some reason, she asked me like if I've had any family members that are suffering with like blood clots or anything like that. And I said, well, my dad, he had a blood clot, he lost his leg. So she says, well, we need to get you straight to A&E because of that. And I had no idea why. She still didn't tell me what she thought it was. She was writing all my notes down. She checked my blood sugars, my heart rate, all the jazz that she needed to check. And she says, you're very anxious right now, that's why your blood pressure's up and everything. I was like, well, yeah, I'm crying, it hurts. So I went up to A&E. It's about 5:30, 5:45, in the morning. Bearing in mind, I've not slept much. And me and my partner were waiting in A&E for about 3 hours. The pain had dulled down a lot. I mean, they gave me some painkillers when I had my pre-assessment up there. The pain had gone down a lot. And I was thinking, oh, it's probably nothing. It's probably just a tummy bug or something now. Can I go home? Thinking they were going to send me home. When I finally got took in, they took my blood, obviously. They took my blood straight away. But when he says, right, we need to see you now, getting my appointment in A&E, he says, it's not what you thought it were. Your kidneys are inflamed and abnormal. That's all he said at the beginning. That's all he said. And I was like, but the pain's in my tummy. He says, you've probably got an ulcer in your tummy. And I was like, well, that sounds about right. And he says, we're going to have to keep you in and we need to put you on a drip. I've never been in the hospital, like I said before. And I have a phobia of cannulas and staying in hospital. So I warned him I'm probably going to cry when he sticks it in. He couldn't find a vein or anything. It was ridiculous. It was so bad. He couldn't get the cannula in my arm. So he went and put it in right here. As you can see, I still have the bruise. He stuck it in there. Put me a bag of like saline solution or something, some clear fluid in on a drip. He shoved that in my arm. And I got wheeled off to a ward. And I was still a little bit like, what? I'm not in pain anymore. What's going on? I don't understand. But they don't really answer much of your questions while I'm up there. So I get put on a ward, and it's the medical emergency ward. So it's like straight after A&E. Emergency medical unit. That's the ward I was on. And my partner was on that ward when he was almost going into a diabetic coma. So to me, that ward scared me because I thought it's something where it's really bad. Anyway, I'm sat on the bed with my little drip thinking, shit, I'm so scared, I don't want to stay here. And the doctor comes to talk to me, to feel my belly, to prod and poke me some more. And he says that my liver function is very bad as well. So my kidneys and my liver, and they think that it is gallstones, like somebody told me on Facebook, and I don't really know much about them. So it's explained to me that you have to stay in. We need this liquid to go through because your kidneys are so messed up, and I need the sort of fluids to go through my body. So they were going to do some more blood tests. I needed my memory and my word function is so bad. Still, I needed an ultrasound on my tummy to check for the stones. I was going to have a chest x-ray, but they didn't tell me that until she come for me in the wheelchair. And what else did I have? I think that was it. But they just keep you there waiting, and the machine kept going off. My drip kept going off, and it weren't working, and they had to keep flushing it through, and you just had to keep annoying the nurses, and I just did not like it. So I kind of got really, really upset, and I didn't want to stay. My dad at the time was in a ward above me for a suspected stroke. So it's been all kicking off. Anyway, my dad came down. I told him I were in hospital. This was about, I'd say about 8 o'clock now, maybe 9 o'clock in the morning. My phone was about dead, and I was like, Dad, can I borrow your charger? So he brought his charger down. He come in his wheelchair, and I burst out crying as soon as I seen him, because he was like a bit out of it, a bit you know, his face were a bit drooped down, and well, I don't like seeing my dad in hospital. It upset me. And we just sat having a chat. We both had his little drips in, and oh, bless him. Anyway, oh my god, where's my thought process gone? They did the ultrasound after a while. I waited all day for it. Oh, like, time stops in hospital. It stops. I hate it. They took me for an ultrasound, come out, and I says to the lady, can you see anything? Because I'm a worrier, I panic. She goes, no, I can't see any stones. And I was like, well, that's good. Maybe I can go home. Anyway, the doctor come and speak to me after they looked at the information after about another 3 hours and said, we can't see any, oh my god, any gallstones, but it might be because everything's so inflamed. Then he starts babbling on that I might have to have a camera down my throat for acid and all that sort of problems. And he said that if there are stones, I will need my gallbladder removed. And I've never had an operation, and I was so scared, and I was like crying the entire day. My mum came to see me. I told my boyfriend he needed to go home for a nap because he was with me and everything. I'm in hospital. I mean, I can't sleep. So he goes home. He comes back to bring me my like pajamas and my clothes and stuff. And I hated it. I got moved to a different ward with a couple of people on there, and oh, they're so weird. There's so many weirdos in the hospital. It's I did not like. Yeah, that's basically it. It was horrendous. I didn't get any sleep. I kept having things pushed through my drip, and I had paracetamol through my IV, and it was just crazy. I hated it. I hated every single minute of it, and I just wanted to come home. Anyway, the next morning, the doctor says we still think that it's stones, and you will need to come back for an MRI scan. He says, how are you feeling? I says, I'm feeling fine. I mean, it's very hit and miss. I was absolutely fine the next day. He says, we'll let you go home, get some rest. We need to wait for your kidneys and your liver and everything else to stop being inflamed and to start being so stupid, basically, and to get back to the normal functioning. And I was just so glad to go home. It was unreal. And apparently he's booked me for an MRI scan, which I need to go in, have that, to see if they can see if there's any stones. If there is, I've got to have that operation to take my gallbladder out. If there isn't, and I'm still getting pains, because I am still getting little attacks, I think I'll probably have to have the tube down my throat with a camera. I don't know yet. I'm trying not to think that far ahead, but I do honestly think that it is the stones. It says they sometimes trap into like pockets and bile, and can't see them when everything's so angry and inflamed. So it's just a waiting game till I get my letter, I guess, to have an MRI. But because I missed out 2 full nights and days of sleep, I'm absolutely still not caught up with it. And I've been going to work. I had 2 days off work, which was the days I was in the hospital, because I was there for 2 days, but overnight ones. And I had to have loads of blood tests took. Oh, it was just horrendous. I hated every single second. But I still feel a little bit like off, and I'm a bit frightened of going places because I think if I get an attack or a spasm or something, I can't do anything. I can't move, and I just cry. It's so bad. It's so painful. It's all in my back. It's just, oh. So, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. It's been a couple of days now. I mean, I come out on Friday. Today's Tuesday. Everything still feels very tender, very sore. But I've not had any more attacks since Friday, I think. Friday or Saturday, I can't remember. But yeah, I've not had any specific attacks. I've just had a lot of like aches and pains, and I just feel really like fragile. I'm still covered in bruises as well. I don't know why I'm just bruising so easy. But yeah, I thought I'd tell you guys. So that's why I'm not going to be very active lately. I'm just trying to get over this, and I don't know. I worry a lot, and I just hope everything comes back fine and I have no more attacks. This is probably not like a big deal to any of you, but to me, I've never been through anything like this. It's always been quite smooth sailing. Like, here's your prescription, you're fine, go home. I've never had to be through anything like this. And it was really scary for me. I've been drinking so much water lately, and I can't eat the same foods I've been eating. Yeah, kind of on a diet right now. I always said, as a person, eat what you want to eat, do what you want, and whatever makes you happy. It don't matter what size you are until it affects your health. Now he says that like fatty foods can set off stones and stuff. I mean, I don't eat a lot of shit, but the night before my first attack, I did have a Chinese. I know I had chicken and mushroom. That's it, and egg fried rice. Like, I didn't even finish it all, but I can't eat anything like that, so I am on a diet right now. Obviously not for the point to lose weight, but I guess it would help if I did lose some weight as well. I'm still going to be all positive and everything, but if you do have a health problem and maybe it is to do with your diet or your weight, it is best to try your very best to like do anything that you can to make it a little bit better for you, because health is your number one priority. And I'm just droning on. So there is a video I have to film, and it is the try on haul for the Primark thing. And that's what I filmed before I went into hospital. So I will be very upbeat and, you know, jolly and happy and look better than I do right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go now, guys. Thank you for watching this. I just want to keep you in the loop, and I haven't forgotten about you. I'm just trying to get back on track, and hopefully I'm over the worst. So, thanks for your love and stuff on Twitter. Thanks for anybody who's asked about me. Anybody that's even wondered where I am, thank you. I'm going to go. Take care of yourself, guys, and I will try and get back on as soon as I can, as soon as I feel up to it. And I'll see you in the next video. Apologies if I do miss Sex Talk Tuesday. I try my very best not to, but we'll see how I go on. And if I do miss it, I am so sorry. But I'm sure you understand. I'm going to go. Take care of yourself, guys. Love yourself, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye.